The long wait is over. Tengen is here as the first DLC character of this season pass, and in this video we're gonna break down every single one of his moves, what they're good for, what they're bad for, as well as give you guys some tips on how to play him. But more importantly, is this a character worth your money? Does his playstyle fit yours? Is this a good DLC addition to Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles? Let's find out in this review brought to you by Raycon. The everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever, and they start at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's very rare for me to leave the house without my Raycons anymore, and wherever I go, it's very easy for me to browse my music or podcast because both of these earbuds include buttons with many different functions. Tap it once for raising or lowering the volume. Tap it twice to play or pause your music. Tap it 3 times to skip to the next song. Thanks to their optimized gel tips, they have the perfect in-ear fit. No matter how rough my walk gets, I'm never scared of them falling off. And they're so comfortable that I wear them every night as I fall asleep. By default, they come with a noise isolation mode turned on, but if you're walking around the house and you know there's a delivery coming, you can turn on awareness mode by holding the right earbud button for 3 seconds, and now you won't miss their doorbell ringing. With all these features, it's no wonder they have over 50,000 5-star reviews. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to support the channel, go to buyraycon.com/Globku to get 15% off anything you order. That's buyraycon.com/Globku to get 15% off. The link is down below. And thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this video. First of all, there was no balanced patch alongside Tengen, but they didn't just add the character. There's also a new stage, which is a rectangle. I believe this is a new shape, and after playing a few matches here, I honestly like it. The color palette is completely different, there's people walking in the background, and my 4th online match was a desync. Whoops. In addition to that, there's a new option in the online match menu, which is group match, where up to 8 players will be able to get together and spectate each other while they play. Spectator mode is finally coming to Demon Slayer, but it's not here yet. It will only be available through a future update. But we're here to talk about Tengen, and it all starts when you first log into the game. Tengen has a unique gimmick, which is taking less poison damage from characters like Shinobu or Lady Tamayo. Right now, those are the only 2 characters that can apply a damage over time effect, but towards the end of the season pass, I'm betting Gyutaro is also gonna have some poison abilities. So this might become a bit more relevant than. For now, it's just a small bonus against 2 characters that are barely played. Speaking of taking damage, Tengen has a 1.15 times damage multiplier on damage received, putting him in the same tier as Zenitsu and Rengoku. So watch out when you play him, he doesn't always blow up, but he does take a lot of damage. Alright, enough talking, time to play him. The first thing you might notice is his dash. It's got such a cool animation, and the same goes for him charging meter. It's a greenish hue that we hadn't seen before in the game. But more importantly, it's a level 3 dash speed, so the same dash speed as Akaza, Makomo, and Shinobu, meaning he's gonna be able to get in and out of range without as much help from assists. His attack buttons are very standard for the most part, nothing bad but nothing crazy good either. The third attack in a combo string is a big flurry of attacks, so that's something you'll probably want to avoid if you're optimizing combos, because all of those hits are going to scale your damage badly. The up combo launches up while Tengen stays on the ground, the down combo knocks down, and Tengen stays grounded too. I did think he was gonna jump a little bit more during his strings given how acrobatic he is, but I guess they just made him flip once in a while when you sidestep. If you're boosted, the final hit is a small lunge forward that triggers this cinematic attack. His strong attack is, let's call it interesting. I don't think it's terrible, but it definitely doesn't look good, or at least that's my first impression. The charge up time is very standard, you can guard break with it just like with any other attack, but if the opponent doesn't block, this strong attack is gonna knock them into the air, and you cannot link this into any of his buttons or skills, which means if you want to get more out of a heavy attack, you're always going to need to dash cancel or use an assist. As for his jumping attacks, I'm also not a big fan of them. The first hit is very horizontal, and without that vertical range, it ends up being very difficult putting it into combos. You can do it in some strings with an instant air dash, but even then, his air combo damage is slightly below average. I do like his dive attack though, it's pretty fast, it's got a good hitbox. It does deal less damage than usual though, and starts a red combo just like most other characters in the game. And before we move on to his skills, let's talk about his grab. Right now, the grab deals around 1500 damage, and the range isn't anything crazy. In the trailers, it definitely looked like it was gonna be a long range grab like Sabito, Nezuko, or Hinokami, and it does have a slightly bigger range than most grabs, but it's nothing crazy. So far, the character doesn't seem that special, but what makes or breaks a character is often their skill moves, and this is where the flashiness starts to happen. First up, his skill button is a big flurry of attacks ending in a big explosion. This move has a big startup as Tengen will strike a pose before attacking, meaning you can't just put this into any combo you want. You either gotta do it right after another skill move or after the third attack in his combo string. Yes, that same attack that I told you to avoid if you're going for optimal combos. Well, it doesn't connect before that, so we don't have much of a choice. This move move deals very good damage, but it also takes a long time to be performed, so it ends up wasting a lot of your combo timer. It does have one redeeming factor, which is if the opponent is on the ground, they will crumple once the move ends. So you can link this into a strong attack or a grab for a combo finisher. And at first I did try going for jumping attacks, but it's really hard to pull off without spending that meter to jump cancel. So I don't think that's a viable route for him. Meaning this will mostly be a combo finisher. And that's true for both the ground as well as the air version of this move. Because while you're jumping, this move is going to knock the opponent very far away, making it very hard to follow up with anything. And fun fact, it actually deals more damage while you're jumping, but it doesn't crumple the opponent anymore, obviously. On block, this move is very safe, not only if the opponent just blocks the whole thing and tries to punish you, but also you can cancel it at any time into other skills, even on whiff, so you never know what's gonna come out of this. Up next, his tilt skill is the move. String performance deals damage, it travels a long distance, it's really fast, and if the opponent blocks it, not only is it plus on block, it actually leads into a true block string. It's a neutral tool, a combo tool, a pressure tool, cooks you breakfast and does your taxes. When in doubt, tilt skill. That said, it does have a couple of weaknesses. Like every other move in this game, push block can significantly change the frame data, so even a move like this can become punishable. Now, it's not easy to punish with a lot of characters, but if you have long range attacks like Enmu or Susamaru, punishing this move is very easy after a push block. Also, it has no tracking, so it shouldn't be used recklessly. A single air dash is enough to make it whiff completely, and then you're stuck in an animation while attacking nobody. The air version of this move is also very good. It still moves forward quite a bit, even if it's not as much. You can still catch folks with it, and if you do it close enough to the ground, you can even combo for free afterwards. And to wrap up his skills, we have the guard skill Rising Kick, which is an okay DP, completely invulnerable on startup. That's not armor, that is invincibility, but it doesn't have a lot of range, and that's its biggest downside. On block, it's also the most punishable move I've ever seen. Even Rengoku's DP recovers faster than this. You block a Tengen Rising Kick, you can go for a super optimal combo, even starting with jumping attacks. It's crazy. But the reason why this move has all of these downsides is because the reward on hit is fantastic. If you connect with this move, you can dash up for free and go into an air combo. You can throw a strong attack for a really cool link that actually deals good damage. You can finish a combo with a grab. You can just throw another DP and another one, or you control spin without even dropping your combo for extra style points. Ultimately, it's a good reversal tool if you actually counter an approaching opponent, but it's not something you want to use after push blocking, for example, because it will probably completely whiff. And it's also not going to reach Enmu on a lot of his reset setups either. So good reward on hit, it's a quick attack that you can easily fit into combos. If it starts a combo though, it will be a red one. Just be careful if the opponent is far away. This is so easy to punish. And to wrap up his moveset, let's talk about his ultimate. It's got a very good activation. This dash is really fast, it's got really good range, and a huge hitbox. It's very hard to miss with this ultimate. And once it connects, the fireworks begin. As an assist, he is so good. Automatically one of the best assists in the game. His assist and tilt assist attacks both look very similar, but the timing of their attacks is very different, which is gonna make it hard for opponents to parry Tengen. Given the size of those hitboxes and how fast he runs, this ends up being a great neutral assist. It even catches jumping opponents, so it can totally be used to counter demons as well. And then, because of all the visual noise he creates with the explosions, he ends up being a great assist for pressure and mix-ups as well. After all, how can your opponent block the mix if they can't even see the mix? The one big downside to having Tengen as an assist is on combos, because both of his assists have a lot of hits. It's not the best damage assist you have in this game. And also the tilt assist starts a red combo. Yeah, they knew that thing was gonna be good. Sometimes Tengen feels like a super oppressive character. It's like he's not playing Demon Slayer anymore with all that screen noise. It's like he's a Storm character. However, once people get used to playing against him, they'll realize that a lot of that noise is just that. Noise. And his pressure actually has a lot of holes that can be exploited. Doesn't mean he can't dominate neutral though. With the way Slayers work, switching characters is gonna plug a lot of those holes. Tilt skill Switch is now one of the most oppressive moves in the entire game, which gives him some good matchups, particularly against Slayers, because if you see an opponent calling for an assist, you're gonna delete that assist with a press of a button. There are, however, some matchups where he just straight up loses, if the opponent knows what they're doing. Against projectiles or long-range attacks like Enmu and Rui, you pretty much lose the ability to use your tilt skill, because they can punish that easily every single time. I will say though, it feels good to counter Akaza's disorder once in a while. But as far as combos go, this is still day one, so better stuff could be found, but I usually confirm early into tilt skill, throw a single attack into another tilt skill, and finish with a regular skill for the crumple and throw them at the end. However, tilt shield skill often drops the combo if the opponent is airborne, so in those situations, I confirm into his DP and then do both skills in the air. Tengen is not a very high damage character, at least not so far, but because he excels in the neutral game, you can go ahead and pick an assist that helps him out on the damage department. Competitively, it's still very early obviously, but he definitely doesn't feel very strong. Feels like he's gonna be a mid-tier character for now, but we need more time to accurately place him on a tier list. But a DLC is so much more than how good a character is competitively, and with him being mid-tier, that kinda means that CC2 released a balanced character. But to me, a good DLC brings something new to the game, and Tengen definitely does that with his skill set. I particularly like some of the details that they did exclusively for him, like the vanishing animation during the dash, the greedish meter charge color, the fact that the surge animation actually has a background. These little things make the character feel special. So ultimately, I think this is a fantastic DLC. Whether or not you are gonna enjoy playing him though, kinda depends on your playstyle. He's definitely a rushdown character, very oppressive, but often unsafe. So it's not like an Akaza oppression, you're gonna need to put that switch tech to good use. Of the entire roster, he doesn't play like anyone in particular, but the closest character I can see a resemblance to is probably Shinobu. So if that's a playstyle you enjoy, I would say you will probably enjoy Tengen as well. And that's Tengen in Demon Slayer, and seriously guys, videos like these wouldn't be possible without the support of wonderful sponsors like Raycon. If you need some new earbuds and you'd like to support the channel, go to buyraycon.com/Globku to get up to 15% off anything you order. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku and I'll see you next time. Bye!